What is happening, everybody? So, I want to talk to you guys about the Trackhawk. Yeah, what the hell? How is it that this thing is not getting any more pub than it is? I mean, I understand the Demon is out, and yeah, it's pretty easy to be overshadowed by this monstrosity that runs 9-second quarter miles, but not to be shed in a darker light. I mean, this thing deserves even as much, if not more, pub than the Demon. I mean, consider this. This is what Mopar and Dodge have basically done. They've taken the status quo and completely flipped it on its head again. They're giving us a 5,500 pound, 700 plus horsepower SUV. All-wheel drive, no less. This is arguably the best use of that power plant. I mean, think about it. On street tires, this thing is reported to run 1160s and 116 miles an hour. Let me just put that into perspective for some of you guys. That is equivalent to a Scat Pack or an SRT with a tune and a tire. And that is hauling ass for something that weighs 5,500 pounds. I mean, think of it like this. If you were to take those kind of stats and tell that to somebody, I don't know, even 3 or 4 years ago, they consider you off your meds. But this is what we've been given. And the beauty of this is that you can go to any Dodge dealership and pick one right off the lot. There is no ordering this thing and waiting for it to come in unless you just got one in mind that you want to build. This is something that will literally be common-ish, I mean, if you want to call it that, in dealerships. This thing is fast in all conditions too, stable, and will be able to haul the family around and docile and just cruising around with the AC on, take a road trip, and then sneak off and go snipe on some unsuspecting Camaros and Mustangs. Yeah, I'm really excited about that truck, SUV, car, whatever you want to call it. But this is the best part about it. You don't have to do anything to that car, truck, again, whatever you want to call it, and you can go out and run mid-11s. With a couple of very minor modifications, it's almost a 10-second SUV. I mean, yeah, you can talk about, how fast the Demon is, but look at it like this. There's plenty of guys that have been running in the 9s with their Hellcats. Well, yeah, all the same mods on a Hellcat will work on the Trackhawk, and I don't know, man. I think I'm a little bit more impressed with an SUV turning a high 10 than I would be with, maybe a hot-rodded Hellcat running, maybe 1050s. So, oh yeah, and you might not even have to buy new tires to do it either. So, yeah, I want to give that thing a little bit of love. It's, in a way, it's so cool, but it's almost like a little bit of a throwback. You've got to remember the Cyclone and the Typhoon from, back in the day when Chevy was, putting that turbocharged 4.6 liter, 4.3 liter V6 into the mini truck and into the mini Blazer, and they built this legend, and it's such a cool thing that a little bit of that flavor, so to speak, has been brought back. But in this case, it's just taken to such a high level, and because of that, it really puts Mopar in a cool light for me. I mean, this is Mopar bringing something back that they really did have back in the 60s. I mean, okay, so let me explain to you what I mean by that. So back then, the Hemi, the 426 Hemi was the car to have, or the engine that you would covet, but you might not be able to afford, so you maybe pick up a 440, or, the drawbacks to the Hemi were that they weren't very streetable, so that's why you maybe get a 383 and do some work to that. Well, here's the thing. You can get your legendary Hemi, in this case a supercharged 6.2 liter, in a multiple cars now. It's at least 3, and it's not like they're not making a ton of them either. So let me give you, let me get back to the point. Hemi Roadrunner, Hemi Coronet, Hemi Belvedere, Hemi insert whatever Hemi you want here. Those were all the, kind of the larger cars back in the day that had that big engine. and along with the Cuda and the Challenger as well. You know, you had multiple cars that you could get that big hot rod power plant in, not just in one car like it was originally with the Hellcats, or two really, with the Challenger and the Charger. Well, now you got a four-door. You got a family car with the baddest ass engine that Dodge is currently making, well, outside of the Demon anyway, that you can get in a normal SUV that will just drive around like a normal SUV until you shower down on it. But the reason why that's cool is because now you've got options. And interesting that the Challenger, and by association the Demon, but for purposes of this conversation, the Challenger is the only two-door car that you can get that engine in. They're giving that engine to folks that also have family responsibilities, and you can kind of feel like you're, you know, being a somewhat responsible individual by getting your Trackhawk or your, you know, Hellcat Charger, because it's got four doors. It's a family car, right? Anyway, it's cool to see them doing that, because that also leads into the SRT powered cars. In other words, the 392 cars with the Challenger, the Charger, the Durango, the Jeep SRT, all in there taking up their spot and just bringing that performance and bringing that spirit back to the buying public. And it's something that no other manufacturer is doing. Think of it like this. In terms of hot rods that are coming out of Mopar right now, I just rattled them all off. And I think I mentioned the Demon a couple of times too, but getting back to the point, I mean, now we've got a Dodge that is reminiscent of what the glory years of this, the muscle car wars were back in the mid-60s. Dodge has got a hot-rodded version of practically everything that they make, except the truck. The 6.4 will fit in the truck. They already have the regular 6.4. Put the Apache 6.4 in a truck, please, so I can buy it. I need a new daily here in about the next year or two. Dodge, listen to me. Help me out here. Sport version. White. Black leather. 392. With a 392 gear. Anyway, sorry. The fact is that you can get a hot rod no matter what. You can get a 392 version. You can get a Hellcat version. And all of that is cool, but it also, man, it just makes the 5.7 cars look that much better too. Because, yeah, you might not be able to step up to a 392 or a Hellcat, but you can get all the power and performance just putting around with that 5.7. You can at least get the sound and a little bit of that feel. And you've got something really to kind of look up to and to emulate with that car. You can make it sound and look just like its bigger brother. So it's cool in that respect too. So, you know, getting back to the whole Trackhawk thing though, I kind of went off on a tangent. Imagine that, right? So excited to see this thing. I kind of wish they would have done what they do with the Durango. You know, do a four-wheel smoky burnout or whatever, but hey, that's the Durango's claim to fame right now. Let that bad boy have it. And I tell you what, if I were in the market for a family, you know, truckster, so to speak, I'd love to get my hands on one of those 392 Durangos. It's eating me alive. Maybe that'll take the place of the truck in terms of my mobile office next. Something to think about. Anyway, post up your comments. Let me know what you think. Oh yeah, I know, coming at you from a little bit different angle. So I bought a house, just let you guys know. This is going to be like a lounge area, kind of a branch off of the house that I bought. So we'll see what this ends up evolving into, but might be doing some videos from this venue for a while until I get the garage all cleaned up and get the Challenger back over here. So anyway, that's what's up with the venue change, so to speak. Anyway, post up your comments. Let me know what you think about that Trackhawk. That's a wrap. Adios.